I appreciate the response that I'm getting from the last video, but they're all over the place. Now, I wanted to bring up an issue that I thought is relevant to all of this, and the issue is there shame in being called black versus African American? Um, because some people they think the color black depicts something low and base. However, I remember years ago I heard someone say, "People are colors." I know white people or Caucasian. Let me put two quotes there. Caucasian people, and they're not white like a piece of paper. And black people, when you say we're black, we're not black like a shirt or a pen or a pencil. No, we're shades of a color. These hard depictions that separate us and divide us and identify us, they were put in place as hard identifiers. Back in the 50s, people were called black then. Then they thought they were doing us something special, so they called us Negroes, okay? Which simply means black. It's a Spanish or a Latin derivative of the color depicting black, negro or negro. And then we were given, in my opinion, the token validation of being called African American. I remember back in the days watching the Popeye cartoons and different cartoons and how they would depict us. Then you just step right across the water and you see how other countries respected our royalty and our dignity. And even today, if you visit African countries, there's a certain dignity, there's a certain education that the quote unquote African Americans here are not adhering to. I see kids who come from Africa and get their citizenship. They are truly African and American, and they take the education system, their parents take the education system, and our society completely different. It's not something to be run over. It's not something to be toyed with. It's something to be used for the advantage of their education. And it makes me think about people who do not want to be identified as black. To me, going back to James Brown, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. That's a hard fact. Black Panthers, they didn't say the African American Panthers. We are the African. No, they're the Black Panthers because it's a hard, solid. People, so I've got someone saying that, when Africa as a nation becomes more independent in what they do, that they're not going to like those of us who want to be identified as black. And there's definitely an absolute difference. The way we speak, the way we present ourselves, how we're educated, how serious we take the system. I'm not saying that about all African Americans or blacks, but I definitely noticed the difference. Now, with that in mind, I have friends from Africa. They identify as Ugandan American, Kenyan American, and Nigerian American. And they can still be recognized as African American because they know where their parents were born, and many of them where they were born. Even if they were born in America, they still have that deep-seated sense of pride and teachings and development and commitment from their parental upbringing, from their country, and from their parent. So they identify with their land. And again, as I said before, we don't know where our ancestors came from. We do know that we got our color, most of us got it from there. Now, if you go a little bit deeper anthropologically, anthropology portion of it, our structures, our face structures, our bone structures, the depth of our melanin is different. And that's just a fact. So whether if you prefer to be referred to as African American, that's fine. But there's absolutely no shame in being called Black American, which is what I choose to be identified with. Black and white. Because when you walk in the door, unless you are really, really close to passing for something else, you'll be recognized as black. Now, another little story. Something happened a few years ago. I think it was in a city on the peninsula. A very, neighborhood for people who had money. Let's just keep it real. Let's not use a bunch of big words. So anyway, this family had brought their father or father-in-law, one of them, from India, and he just happened to be a dark-skinned Indian from the continent or country of India. And you know how they can actually be darker than Black Americans. Now, he just happened to be walking down the street, taking his daily walk in this neighborhood that is probably predominantly nothing but white and Indians with money. And someone called the police on him, and they said a black man was prowling the neighborhood. And him being from India, he spoke no English. And of course, the police came, and in this case, they do what they most often do. They beat him down. An old man beat him down. And he spoke no English, and they said because this black man was walking up and down the street. They didn't say African American, black. They said a black man. There's so many things to weigh in here, but I think there's a certain pride. I should have worn my Black Panther t-shirt. There's a certain pride in being recognized as black. I'm black. What was President Obama? He's African American. Was he black? I like what Sinbad said. He's half white. We're going to take our black side. Everybody else can do what they want. So, is there shame in being called black? Absolutely not. Is there shame in being called African American? Absolutely not. But I think when you lean to the side of African American, you are also letting go of the culture that has been created from the black race entering into the States. And if you go back and you look at our DNA, 400 something years of atrocities that took place in slavery, that's why we're every shade of vanilla, all from light vanilla to dark chocolate. Our hair is all different kinds of textures. And even there's even more interracial mingling that comes from other countries. So, Black American versus African American. What say you? I think we garner more respect as a people being black because there's a lot of countries that love what we do. I mean, you can look at the Asian countries. You can look at all the countries. They want our swag. They want the black swag. They don't want the African American swag. They want the black swag. Hey, I raise the black flag too. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Oh, do me a favor. Yeah, you see that button there? Subscribe. And please leave a comment. I will try my best to respond to all of your comments. I like discourse. Wadi out.